Now to #1 best-selling authors James Patterson and Matt Eversmann, co-authoring their latest book, American Heroes, telling the true stories of our servicemen and women. Good morning to both of you.
Hey,
it's great to have you on this morning.
100%.
So this is one in a series of interviews that you've done with members of the armed services who've been honored with medals.
Right.
James, first talk to me about why Matt was the perfect partner in this journey. Yes, exactly.
Matt was the sergeant portrayed in the movie Black Hawk Down. Matt knows, I mean, in terms of heroes and what Matt was there. I mean, you can tell us in 10 seconds, because the people out there watching, most of them have not been in combat and don't understand what heroism really means, but he's been there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, listen, combat is the most intense, intimate experience a guy or gal can have. And, you know, when I was on the battlefield of Mogadishu, you know, you're in this tense situation, then instantaneously the most violent things happen, and you're stuck trying to figure out, I got to do my job. I'm afraid for everybody else. I mean, this close.
Yeah.
And then you realize whatever you're doing
This
isn't
close.
working. And that's where these American hero stories come in, because they do that next level. They're the ones that push through this horrific experience and make things happen.
We were at West Point yesterday, and all the cadets are reading this book today, which is really cool. And I think one of the things here, for starters, anybody who reads this, if you like my Alice Cross or any of that, the pace of this is as good as those. But also pass it on to the kids, the teenagers, kids in college. They need to understand what sacrifice means, what duty means, and they'll get it from this book.
Hey, absolutely. And Matt, to the point before about you having these conversations with these members of the armed forces, what was that like for you? You're obviously, you've experienced this up close yourself, but now on an intimate level, you're sort of sharing the moments with them.
Yeah, no, and it's amazing, because almost to a person, they have the same reply. They're like, you know, I just did what needed to be done, and I did it for everybody else. I mean, that literally
that sense
is
of
the
we
entire
versus I, unbelievable. The humility of Medal of Honor winners, it's unbelievable.
I mean, I thought, and I had seen, you know, great courage personified by men and women on the battlefield, but listening to these stories, it's this next level. It's almost indescribable.
Yeah. Matt could only do one a day in terms of the interviews.
Oh, I bet.
It's just so
emotionally intense, yeah.
And, you know, and we were blessed to have Medal of Honor recipients from World War II, at least the spouse of a World War II veteran, all the way up to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
70 years of warfare we've.
But at West Point, I mean, it's just incredible, because these cadets, they're hearing their history and whatever, but they've never been in combat.
And let me ask you this, from your perspective, obviously, you know, we're familiar with your novels and the thrillers, but how do you break down these interviews to these intricate stories, and then you condense it? That must be very difficult.
Exactly. I don't know how difficult it is, but nobody wants to read 50-page interviews, for the most part, I don't think. And what we have in this is 37, and we take the interviews and turn them down into like 6, 7-page stories. Each one, I mean, could be a movie, honestly, every one of these. So you find out about that individual and also their story, what happened to them, how they won the medal.
Incredible
so
stories.
It's very intense and very tight.
Of bravery and courage.
Yeah. And we need it. I don't think we've ever needed heroes more than we do right now.
Absolutely.
You got an election coming up. It's a great book to read before the elections, because it focuses you on we, whatever that means, you know, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. You know.
James Patterson, Matt Eversmann, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Definitely looking forward to it. American Heroes is out now wherever you get your books.